It would seem that once again, my favoritist content creator in the entire freaking world, Hasan Piker, is at it again. He's still pathetically feuding with Asmongold, where seemingly ripped from the pages of a goddamn anime fight scene, Mr. Hamas Piker himself has challenged Asmongold to some sort of a duel. You see, unfortunately, we are all aware of the tragedy that is taking place in God's greatest gift to mankind, Los Angeles, California. Truly awful stuff going on over there. Perhaps a typical Tuesday in LA, sure, but if y'all have been keeping up with the news even a little bit, you know it is a bit worse than usual out there the past couple of days with all the rioting and whatnot going on. And so, of course, naturally, Hasan, being Hasan, strategically has begun running with this tragedy and somehow has even managed to make it all about himself, as he made a surprise guest appearance at the riots calling out Asmongold while he was there. And overall, he's just made himself look like a complete tool in this newly emerging drama here. The whole thing is just really about as stupid as you could possibly imagine, and so I figured we could talk about it today. So yeah, let's roll this shit. I'm sure it'll be oh so educational as always.
Asmongold can now be the largest content creator on the fucking platform and be like, yeah, they deserve it. To be fair, he's talking about the cops in this circumstance. We understand them as white supremacist force.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But, you know, and not like the non-state actors taking matters in their own hands. But even then, the results are the same. He will get no punishments for this. As a matter of fact, I'll probably get fucking banned before he does.
Oh yeah, you know, God forbid you get another 24-hour suspension, Hasan. We all know that's not gonna happen. But, you know, if he actually was banned from the platform, you know, this is what the world would look like. But that just simply won't happen with Dan Clancy or whatever the fuck his name is over there as the CEO of Twitch. Because the fact of the matter is, he just loves sucking on that Hasan cock, right? That's neither here nor there, though. What I really want to talk about is just how I kind of find it funny that a couple weeks ago, Asmongold was talking about how Twitch should fix their PR nightmare that they have going on over there by just outright banning politics. And, you know, Hasan had one of his daily meltdowns about how, oh, you know, that's a stupid idea. You know, he's generated a lot of positive discourse over there on the platform, and then now just weeks later Hasan is calling for Asmongold to be censored. Like, what a fucking hypocrite, man. Not only is his rampant narcissism cringe as fuck, but like, dude, you're the last person that should be preaching about being punished for political expression. Essentially, all Hasan really advocates for is the silencing of any political opposition or any criticism that happens to come his way. And if it were up to him, everybody would have the ability to just say whatever the fuck they want, but only if he agrees with it. But if it comes from someone like Asmongold, oh, no, you know, ban him, send his dirty, stinky ass to the fucking gulag, you know, no more hate speech for you, mister. Unk is always flip-flopping whenever something doesn't benefit him. One minute he's talking about how, oh, you know, politics is really healthy for the platform. You know, it brings a lot of attention, a lot of eyeballs, a lot of discussion to the platform. And then now that he's heard something he doesn't like from Asmongold, oh, ban him, you know, get him out of here. Like, dude, you are such a fucking hypocrite.
And nobody has anything happen. Like, there's never any consequences for these people. And so I'm really glad to see this happen. This guy trying to run away. Again, literally zero sympathy for these kinds of people. He's trying to run away from the police, etc. I don't give a shit. They're psychopaths. Well, there are people. The reason why these people are doing it, I'm off. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, you're right. The psychopath is certainly the people that are protesting ICE kidnapping other people, okay? Kidnapping their neighbors, kidnapping their community members, and not the fucking rat king who is covered in his own fucking filth and rot, sitting in the comfort of his fucking home, going, yeah, it's perfectly fine to trample over a taxpayer with horses. Yeah, it's based. Yeah.
This dude acts like he's just this beacon of truth for all left-leaning voices. Like, he thinks he's like the fucking Muhammad or something of the Democratic Party, but instead of providing compelling arguments that really generate any sort of discussion, he just once again in ignorant fashion has nothing worthwhile to contribute. so he attacks Asmongold's appearance and his living conditions. To me, this speaks volumes on just how unqualified or uneducated he is to talk about literally anything he has to say. Every time I hear this dude pipe up, I genuinely envy Helen Keller just a little bit more, but whoa, yeah, that got dark. Anyway, moving on here, like I said, Hamas Piker has challenged Asmongold for the title of Hokage here, as he was present at the LA riots where he had this to say.
Hopefully one day we'll see the largest political commentator Asmongold out here in the streets, you know, for protesting, for, I don't know, making...
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll go with the National Guard to arrest everybody who's standing in the highway. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Yeah, if I could go and do that, I feel like, you know what? That sounds like a really good idea. I love that idea. This guy's smart.
So clearly Hasan is implying that Asmongold is like some sort of coward, or he's like a bitch for not showing up. Meanwhile, he's there hiding his face and promoting, you know, this clearly peaceful protest, right? You know, he's obviously condoning their obviously acceptable behavior behind a fucking mask. Like, how are you gonna sit there and call him a coward when the only reason he's even doing this is because he can hide behind the guise of anonymity? Being as notable as you are, Hasan, you know, let's see you keep that same energy without your goofy ass Halloween costume, pussy. And like, also, why the fuck would Asmongold go to this riot when he's not on that side of the argument? You know what I mean? Like, he's in favor of these ICE agents upholding the law. Like, why the fuck would he go there to protest them? Like, that doesn't even make any fucking sense, dude. Like, is there any brain activity going on in your fucking head? Like, Jesus Christ, man. And the ego of this dude is just so funny to me. Like, he's acting like he's out there just making a difference, right? You know, he's acting like he's just this godsend that's really doing something to, you know, fight for the cause, right? When in reality, he's like there, but he's not really there, you know what I mean? He's not doing anything other than, you know, telling his NPC army of terminally online retards that, you know, ICE bad, me cool, Rat King, boo. Like, stop being a bitch, Hasan. And if you want to actually claim you're making a difference, at least do your fucking part. It's about time you start pulling your weight, man. Like start hucking some fucking rocks, you know, maybe light a car on fire, you pussy. Please just do something, you know, anything is better at this case than sitting on your ass doing nothing. All right, we need to calm down. But like, seriously, whether we're talking legal or non-legal, he's doing absolutely nothing to contribute to the rioting. You know, he's doing nothing to really contribute to the overall message that these people are looking to convey. You know, in other words, he's just sitting behind a mask and doing jack shit. Like, he might as well have stayed home, you know, talking about some, maybe one day we'll get the biggest political streamer in the world to come out here. You know, speaking of coming out, Hasan, you know, with it being, you know, hashtag Pride Month and all that, when exactly are you coming out? Because clearly you've got Asmongold's dick stuck in your mouth. Like, is that all you can think about is Asmongold? Like, this motherfucker's at the scene of a goddamn Michael Bay movie. You know, he's taking in the scenes, right? You know, people are standing up to authority, you know, committing crimes left and right, and he's pretending to be part of the protests and shit. Like how about you live in the moment, for God's sake, instead of projecting your jealousy towards Asmongold every 5 minutes? Jesus Christ. And this is a pretty bad look, so I saw this over on Twitter, you know, make sure to get your photo op with the guy holding signs with Nazi imagery on it, Hasan. Like how detached from reality do you have to be in direct opposition of those trying to, first and foremost, you know, uphold the law, you know, be pictured with a swastika, and then in support of those who are hurling rocks at moving cars, looting businesses, and quite literally burning a city to the ground, and then somehow believe you're on the right side of history? Like, how is that genuinely possible? Like, look at this loser with his fucking sign of the horns. You know, he thinks he's a fucking rock star. He's so pretentious, dude. He thinks he's so cool, and in reality, he looks fucking stupid. Like, this isn't a game, you know. This isn't happening so that he can drive home to his multi-million-dollar home and his brand new Porsche to farm Twitter impressions, you know, just pretending to give a fuck about something that doesn't affect him in the slightest for internet points. These are people's lives, businesses, safety, and well-being, but, you know, to him, it's just a game, you know, a chance to take edgy photos and once again make it all about him like he does every other conflict in the world. Oh, tee-hee, guys, you know, look at me. I'm making a difference, you know, unlike that slimy, degenerate, roach-infested Rat King Asmongold. Hasan, you are pathetic, and I pray on your downfall forever. And before I close out the video though here, guys, I just want to read one of Hasan's tweets that he put out in response to one of Asmongold's tweets. So he said, yeah, can't believe people who wave Mexico flags in fucking California. A migrant worker / asylum seeker contributes more to this country in a day than this rotting husk will in a lifetime. So first of all, is he like implying that migrant workers don't contribute anything to society? Because they definitely do. We're not going to get into that discussion though. As a matter of fact, no. We will talk about this for a second. So this privileged little fuck thinks that the hardworking people of this country don't contribute anything. On one hand, he's out here talking about how Asmongold apparently doesn't contribute anything to society, but then on the other hand, he's talking about how he does, right? What is it that you do, Hasan? What do you contribute besides spreading hate, inciting violence for political opposition, and telling me and the rest of the other slop tubers that don't agree with you to go to Home Depot for a stepladder and some rope? Like, what the fuck do you contribute to society? You're the one that's out here parading yourself, pretending to be some, highly respectable journalist, while Asmongold just sits in his bedroom expressing his opinions, pissing you off in the process. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't ever really recall Asmongold like sitting up on his high horse, coming out here stating, or even implying for that matter, that he's like making some sort of a difference in the world. He's just simply out here trying to entertain his audience and chase a bag, right? But you have some sort of narcissistic god complex, and you think you're just the greatest journalist of all time and that you just contribute so much, when in reality the world would be a much better place without you. But that's pretty much it for the video, man. Hasan's a fucking loser. Like I said, I pray on his downfall almost daily. And yeah, everybody hates you. But thank you so much for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a like rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries just like this. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what y'all have to say about all this. And until next time, guys, this is Runter. I'm done yapping for now. We'll catch you though on the next one. Bye for now.